National Committee for Peace, Justice, and Dignity, the National Network on Cuba, and Social Justice Committee of Berkeley Fellowship. For more information, call 510-219-0092. This event is wheelchair accessible.
Good evening. You're listening to 94.1 KPFA Berkeley, 89.3 KPFB Berkeley, 88.1 KFCF Fresno, 97.5 K248 BR Santa Cruz, and online at kpfa.org. The time is 9 p.m. Stay tuned for Suspense.
Tonight, we take pleasure in bringing you Suspense, a weekly anthology of notable melodramas from stage and screen, fiction and radio, presented each week to bring you to the edge of your chair, to keep you in suspense. In modern parlance, nemesis is an implacable foe, a person who is one's exact opposite, and yet also somehow similar in some fundamental manner. In fiction, the theme of a nemesis is particularly popular. The iconic pairings of Sherlock Holmes and Professor Moriarty, James Bond and Ernst Stavro Blofeld, the Cape Crusader and the Joker. In each case, an arch-enemy serves as a mirror, reflecting a twisted image of our hero. But in ancient times, this word had a very different meaning. According to the Greeks, Nyx, the primordial goddess of the night, had a daughter named Nemesis. Nemesis was the executrix of inexorable divine retribution against wrongdoers, in particular, those guilty of hubris. And her retribution could take on the subtlest of forms.
I won't do it. I tell you, I simply won't do it.
Oh, Sterling.
Up.
But Sterling.
Excuse me, Miss Andrews. But which part of up didn't you understand? Well?
You shushed me, so I naturally assumed you didn't want me to continue.
I merely meant that I couldn't bear another patronizing Sterling. But please, feel free to continue if you have something constructive to add. Like what hideous revenge I can mete out upon the producer for even suggesting such a travesty. The Mummy Awakens. And what are your thoughts on the subject, oh special effects artiste extraordinaire? My career is on the precipice of utter ruin, and all you have to say is, meh?
Yeah.
Are you sure you and my agent weren't separated at birth? Angelina, look me in the eye and tell me that this isn't the greatest travesty in the history of television. Well, besides Family Feud.
Well, Sterling, I don't think it's as bad as all that.
Not as bad as all that? Of course you would say that. Your character, the long-suffering matriarch of the main Blazengills, hasn't changed one jot in 20 years. Always slapping on that fake smile in the face of overwhelming adversity. Always turning the other cheek, regardless of what shabby treatment you receive from your ne'er-do-well children. It's barely even acting. You're just playing yourself, Saint Angelina Andrews.
Sterling.
Not as bad as all that, you say? Nope, he's asking you to portray a vampire.
But Sterling...
But Sterling nothing. Archibald Blazingill is a spectre. Not a vampire, a spectre. Shade of a colonial ancestor. But with the network trying to pull in younger viewers, my entire backstory, a decades-long history of Emmy-nominated performances, will be awash in an ocean of stage blood. Whoever heard of such a thing anyway? A vampire on a soap opera? Bah!
I'm sorry, Sterling, but our ratings have been dropping steadily for years. The producers are desperate.
Now I suppose I'll be expected to skulk around Blazingill Manor with a cape pulled over my face. And heaven knows how many hapless extras' throats I'll be expected to suck on. I want to drink your blood. Blah, blah, blah. Blah indeed.
He went to Bullabalt and his head fangs.
Whoa!
Sterling is not taking this well.
Yeah.
Oh, I do hope he calms down. Maybe if I have a talk with him. I suppose you're right. He's in a mood. It's just that, well, I hate to see anyone upset. Good night, Briggs.
Roll over.
Well, hello, darling.
You?
Oh, the look on your face is absolutely priceless. Oh, if only I had a camera.
You?
And I see your wit is as quick as ever.
What are you doing here?
Oh, I was in the mood for some ham. So, of course, I came to watch you rehearse.
No, really, what are you doing here?
What? An old friend can't just stop in and say hello?
Old friend? You stole my supporting role in Angel of Antwerp. You told the producers that I was in the Betty Ford Clinic and that I'd recommended you as my replacement.
Simply a misunderstanding.
You got me blackballed from the Allied Actors Achievement Awards. You claimed I'd slept with half the judges.
But only half.
You stole my husband!
He was in the market for a newer model. One without so much mileage on it.
Get out of my dressing room. Get out!
I'll see you again soon, I'm sure.
Out! Who is it?
Your favorite Hollywood columnist, darling.
Oh, Gigi Dunworthy. The last person I want to see right now. But please come in, Gigi. Gigi, how good to see you.
Likewise, I'm sure. I see you still do your own makeup. Afraid someone might learn your secrets?
No. I just like to keep busy before we film. It helps me relax.
And you must have quite a need for something to relax you of late. I understand you had a visitor last evening.
A visitor?
Yes, a visitor. A most unexpected visitor.
Oh, you heard about Cassandra stopping by.
It's my business to know these things. And others. For example, do you know who Cassandra was seen with just 2 days ago?
I haven't a clue.
Oh, clearly not, because otherwise she wouldn't be so nonchalant about it.
Who? Who was she with? Gigi, who was she with?
None other than your very own agent, Mr. Theo Dimitrakos.
With Theo? No.
Yes, I saw them myself at the Bel Air Country Club, looking very conspiratorial over an intimate lunch.
But what possible reason could Theo have for talking to her? He hates her almost as much as I do.
Hate someone? You? Surely not. After all, you're Angelina Andrews, the delightful darling of daytime programming, beloved by millions from 8 to 80.
Oh, of course not.
But then, if anyone had cause to hate Cassandra Caldwell, it would be you.
Well, hate is such a strong word.
But is it in this case? After all, given the personal vendetta she seems to have against you. Didn't Cassandra get her start on television right here on Journey into Night?
I don't recall.
Of course not, darling. Especially since she wasn't even Cassandra Caldwell then. She changed her name to that more alliterative one later on. Interesting coincidence, that alliteration. A bit like yours, wouldn't you say?
Really? Why, I hadn't noticed the similarity.
Of course you hadn't. You know, for as well as you've done in the business, you don't seem to notice a lot of things.
Well,
I've had their own beheading.
Beheading?
we're filming an episode set in 17th century Salem, Massachusetts, and one of my ancestors, Prudence Blasingall, was accused of witchcraft and beheaded.
Yet another New England colonial plotline? How droll. Well, I should be going.
Well, thank you for stopping by, Gigi.
I do so hope you find out what Theo was doing with Cassandra.
Yes, thank you, Gigi, but I'm sure it was nothing.
Oh, of course it was nothing. Until later, darling.
Until later, Gigi.
This is Theo. You know what to do. If you're someone I want to talk to, I call you back.
Why was Theo at lunch with her? Why? Yes, Gwen, I just received the new dress. It's lovely. Don't be silly. It's your creations that make me look beautiful, not the other way around. Well, if you say so. Gwen, I have to go. Theo, what's going on here?
Angelina, you're looking great as always.
Theo, what are you doing with her?
Her?
Her!
Oh, well, Miss Caldwell, she found herself in need of new representation. You know me. Theo Dimitrakos, rule number 3. You can never have too many clients.
But her? You don't like her any more than I do.
Like? It's got nothing to do with it. Business is business. This is business.
Business is one thing, Theo, but you could have told me in private. Why did you have to come here to break the news to me and to bring her with you? Here on the set of my own show, the one thing in the last 10 years that she hasn't managed to ruin for me.
Yes, about that, it's not your show anymore. You're out. Cassandra's in, effective immediately.
I must have misunderstood. I could have sworn you said...
I know you think you can't trust those decrepit old ears of yours. But you heard him right.
I wasn't talking to you. Theo, what's going on? How can this be?
Network suits have been watching the ratings drop like a stone for years now. They're thinking the show needs to skew a little younger.
Yes, like below the century mark.
And so they decided to bring in someone that better reflects the age group they hope to attract. So you're out and Cassandra's in.
But I have a contract.
Yes, which includes a mutual out clause that can be exercised if both the studio and your representation agree to do so.
What?
They agreed, I agreed, it's done.
But you can't do that.
Look, you'll get severance check, you'll take some time off, you'll think about what you want to do next. Trust me, this is the best thing that could have happened.
Trust you? Trust you? You sold me out, Theo. I've been your friend since before she was stealing scenes in elementary school plays. How can you do this to me?
It's not personal. It's business, strictly business. You're on your way down, Cassandra's on her way up. Theo Dimitrakos rule number 1. Cover your tokus, Pally, because no one else is gonna do it for you.
I see.
And speaking of seeing, see to it that you clear out that dressing room at the end of shooting today. It's my dressing room now.
Please tell your new client that I have a scene to shoot now.
Yes, your beheading scene. The death of a witch. How very appropriate.
Leave me alone. Just leave me alone.
How typical. You can't even make genuine emotion come across as believable. The perfect coda for your pathetic career. And when that axe falls on set, it'll be all over for you.
Look, I don't know why you hate me so much, and it doesn't matter anymore. For whatever reason, you've set out to destroy my career and my very life. Well, congratulations, you've succeeded. Almost. But I'll give you a chance to finish the job, to truly leave me with nothing. Are you interested?
Very. What do you have in mind?
Be back here at 11 p.m. this evening. You'll get the opportunity to destroy me once and for all. But be prepared. You're going to have to earn it.
Cassandra, I smell a rat here.
You worry too much. I can handle anything she can come up with. I'll be there.
You think so? We'll see about that. Hello, Briggs. I have a favor to ask.
Dragging me out of my warm bed at this time of night? And without even the slightest hint as to why? Just because I play a vampire doesn't mean I want to be prowling the night like one.
Yes, darling, this is all very mysterious. Most unusual.
Angelina, what gives?
My apologies, dear friends. All will become clear in just a moment. Will you follow me to the Colonial Salem set, please?
I was starting to think you wouldn't show.
I wouldn't miss this for the world. Now, if you'll all make your way to the chopping block, then we can begin. I've asked you all here this evening for a very specific purpose. Miss Caldwell and I have made a wager of sorts, a wager that she will now learn about in detail. This is a certified check for $1 million. Every penny I have in the world. Without this money, I'll have nothing. No home, no car, no clothes, but what's on my back? You wanted to ruin me? Well, now's your chance. Are you brave enough to try?
Name the bet.
I'm going to place this check on that chopping block, the same one upon which my character, Prudence Blassengill, lost her head earlier this very day. If Miss Caldwell can remove the check from the block before the headsman's axe falls, the money is hers.
And if she doesn't?
Briggs, would you please demonstrate? That will happen. To her.
Good heavens!
Oh, I feel faint. Stunt double.
Are you crazy?
Not at all. Just tired of losing everything to this vindictive vulture bit by bit. So within 10 minutes, I'll either be broke or she'll have a hook for a hand. Still game?
Let's do this.
Are you crazy?
No, not crazy, and not stupid either. What's to keep you from missing the block altogether? Not that you have the guts to actually try and kill me, but a clumsy cow like you might miss simply due to sheer incompetence.
Briggs, if you would explain? Please, Briggs.
Axe is tethered to a hydraulically controlled monofilament restraint system that only allows the axe to travel in a straight vertical line.
In other words, even if I wanted to take a swing at Miss Caldwell's head, I would be unable to do so. The axe can only strike the block, nowhere else. You still want to go through with this?
This time tomorrow, you'll be pushing a shopping cart up and down Sunset Boulevard.
Okay, we all get why you wanted Cassandra here, but what about us? What are we here for anyway, huh?
Indeed. Especially since you know I can't stand the sight of blood.
Because I need the three of you as witnesses to ensure that everything is on the up and up, no matter what happens.
Well, I want no part of this. It's absolutely barbaric. And although it will be a great story, front page material for certain.
Let's go.
After you. At the count of 3, Cassandra will grab, and I will swing. Briggs, will you do the honors?
1, 2, 3.
Oh.
Her head. It's cleaved open like a ripe melon. But you said it couldn't strike any place but straight down.
Didn't.
Why, you're right. Look at her hands. They're still to either side of the block.
Then what the hell happened?
I do believe that she tried blowing it off the block with her breath.
Yeah.
But she was so anxious to get the check off the block
that she leaned just a few inches too far forward.
Whammo.
Well, you got the check off the block, Miss Caldwell. You won fair and square. So here's your check. Let me know if you have any trouble cashing it.
So ends An Ungentle Wager by John C. Alzadek and Dana Perry Hayes. Tonight's story of Suspense. Suspense is produced by Blue Hours Productions. Tonight's radio drama was written by John C. Alzadek and Dana Perry Hayes. Elizabeth Grayson was Angelina Andrews. Adrian Wilkinson was Cassandra Caldwell. Rocky Serda was Sterling Golden. Christopher Duva was Theo Dimitrakos. Dana Perry Hayes was Gigi Dunworthy, and Daamen Krall was Briggs. I'm Daamen Krall. Next week at this time, tune in again for another study in Suspense.
The International Committee for Peace, Justice, and Dignity invites you to join us in celebrating the 65th anniversary of the attack on the Moncada barracks that marked the beginning of the Cuban Revolution, and to hear a report back from the International Mayday Brigade and from San Francisco State University students' recent trip to Cuba. With music by Dua Muxa, a slideshow, speakers about Cuba, and the Latin American School of Medicine. Saturday, July 28th from 6 to 8 p.m. This is happening at Berkeley Fellowship of Unitarian Universalists, 1924 Cedar Street, Berkeley. Co-sponsored by and a benefit for the International Committee for Peace, Justice, and Dignity, the National Network on Cuba, and Social Justice Committee of Berkeley Fellowship. For more information, call 510-219-0092. This event is wheelchair accessible.
Saturday, July 28th, KPFA, in partnership with the New Parkway Theater in Oakland, present our inaugural movie matinee, All the President's Men. All the President's Men stars Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman as the Washington Post reporters Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein, who uncover the Watergate scandal. This film is the story of two reporters covering a suspicious third-rate burglary and following it all the way to the White House. All the President's Men is as smart and as cautionary today as it was in 1976.
Nothing's writing on this except the First Amendment of the Constitution, freedom of the press, and maybe the future of the country.
Join us Saturday, July 28th at 3 p.m. at the New Parkway Theater, 474 24th Street between Telegraph and Broadway in Oakland for All the President's Men, an intelligent and provocative film about our nation's political failing. This is a KPFA benefit. Information for tickets is online at kpfa.org.
Listeners, friends, comrades, thank you for coming to KPFA's author events, thereby supporting KPFA as well as many independent progressive writers. This is Bob Baldock, assuring you that Ken Preston, Catherine Horsley, and I will again this fall be offering you remarkably inexpensive seats to hear and meet such relevant writers as philosopher Martha Nussbaum, Chris Hedges with his new book, America, The Farewell Tour, Didi Guttenplan of The Nation magazine, Michael Lerner of Tikkun, the profoundly wonderful Alice Walker, Peter Phillips and Mickey Huff of Project Censored, Buddhist teacher Joan Halifax, brilliant historian Adam Hochschild, Mideast expert Reese Ehrlich with Norman Solomon, and the merry, mindful mystic Gary Gach. There will be more. Please keep an eye on the KPFA website and your ear